I was thinking today that I'm not sure if I want to live with a woman, like with my girlfriend, maybe even my wife. And I know that sounds absurd. Wait, what? You're not going to live with your girl? Let me just tell you my thoughts. I'm not going to put my ideas onto you at all. But you might find it interesting to hear the argument of the other side, because it does seem to me like it's kind of assumed that in a relationship, you get closer and closer, then you cohabitate, you live together, you get married, whatever, and then you live together in the same house. That seems like completely normal. And I just want to play the devil's advocate and tell you my experience of living with a girl, like, my girlfriend, and if it's a good thing or not. By girlfriend, I mean girls I've dated previously. So this is the experience that I've had multiple times with multiple different girls, whilst I have also been quite different. This is over the space of about 8 years. So I've changed a lot as a man. Every time that I've moved in with a girlfriend, or we've lived together, we've traveled together for a good few months together, and we've stayed in the same place, or she's moved into my place, whatever, every single time, it has led to a decrease in the progress that I make in my goals, and also, unfortunately, a decrease in the actual relationship itself. So this is what it feels like to live by yourself as a young man if you haven't lived by yourself before. You wake up at the time that you want with no friction. It's like you wake up and you are like an erection. Not that you have an erection, which you should do, but that's a separate point. But it's like you as a man, as a human being, are like a walking erection, where you are kind of like penetrating through the world with some like zest and some toughness. I know that sounds like a weird analogy, but you might understand what I'm talking about. That's what it feels like to live by yourself, to not live with mommy, to not live with a girl. And it probably is even more so if you are living with male friends, which we'll talk about soon. But when I live by myself, that's what it feels like. Like, zest is there every single morning. It's like you aggressively open your eyes, attack the day, 5 a.m., 4 a.m., work, whatever you need to do. And then, you leave the house whenever you need to. You're just surrounded by this like hard masculine energy, which is amazing for conquering goals. You have complete control over your schedule. You wake up at the time, you go to sleep at the time, when you want to leave your place to go to the gym, you leave when you're ready. Then I've had times where, of course, I've lived with previous girlfriends, girls that I've been with. And it's not the case. Instead of waking up when your alarm goes off at 4 or 5 and you're sharing a bed with a girl, your alarm goes off and you just, without realizing it, even turn it off right away, because there's more comfort and reason to stay here. Am I saying this is the girl's fault? Absolutely not. We should take 100% responsibility of everything. You can still wake up absolutely at the same time. Of course you can, and I've done that before, but there's more of a reason to stay in bed. So look, the disciplined guys watching this could say, oh, Hamza's a pussy because he should still be disciplined. And to that I'd say, yeah, fair enough. But what I'm saying is, it doesn't become easier to make progress in your goals. It actually becomes harder most of the time, even with girls who are like supportive and they've got this sort of cheerleader personality and they're feminine and everything. It becomes harder to wake up and to get out of bed when your girl is still there. Like have some like empathy here and just think, maybe I am a pussy, but you can understand if you're waking up next to your girl, your wife, and she's naked, you're naked. There's more of a reason to stay there, not even in just sexuality, but just in comfort and warmth of being underneath the blanket, and to cuddle up a bit more. You're a little bit sleep deprived. Your sleep is often always worse with someone in the same bed as you because of tossing and turning and extra body heat and everything. So there's more reason to. So 2, 3, 4, 5 days of the week, you don't wake up at 5, you wake up at 6:30. Some days you get a little bit frustrated. You're like, oh, I've got to wake up early. And then you almost feel a bit resentful towards it, because when you sleep by yourself in your own place, you wake up at the perfect time every single day. When you do wake up and you go and work, it's like there's a bit of resistance sometimes if you're going to do some kind of work like I am, which is like creating content and speaking out loud, because you don't want to be loud when someone else is asleep. Then it's like small things, which I'm going to sound like such a complaining little bitch for saying this, but let's say it's time to go to the gym. When you live by yourself, you put on loud music, getting ready, take the pre-workout, whatever, and then you walk out the door with zest whenever you're ready to go. When you're going to the gym with a girl that you live with, suddenly she needs to do her little, she needs to fill up a little fucking Stanley Cup or some shit like that, right? She needs to do all this cute stuff. And she leaves in like a nice, like smiley, happy mood, which is wholesome as fuck. But for a lot of guys, that's maybe not the kind of energy that we have when we're going to the gym, because we go with a more aggressive, maybe that's just me, but like I assume you're similar to me, more of like, an aggressive hype kind of energy rather than like a smiley, happy, I'm just a little girl kind of energy. You're ready to go. She's not. She needs a few more minutes. You're in this awkward phase of like your energy, your personality is telling you go, but you're waiting around because you guys are going to go together. The same with like when it turns to evening time and it's time for you guys to spend some time together. That was time which you'd be reading like half a book. Like all of us have like 2-3 hours free a day, even though we like to believe that we don't. All of us can read about half a book per day, I'm sure of it. When you live with your girl, that time is then spent on each other, which could be so beneficial if you're doing really deeply loving things. Like, for example, you're asking her the deepest questions possible to discover like her consciousness and to get to know her more. But let's be honest, most couples are not doing that every day. They're just talking about chores, they're just laughing, and then they end up watching shit together, scrolling. You know, they're just talking about basic stuff, about work, whatever. Most couples are not sat there saying like, oh, you know, what's your biggest regret in life? Which friend do you miss the most? You know, these deep questions that really show you someone's real self and you can get to know them more, which is quite like a healing, bonding, connecting conversation. Most people aren't really having those kinds of conversations every day. It's more just like talking about logistics and chores and whatever. So if you're then missing out on those last few hours of like the grind to your goals in replacement for some like fun, kind of happy, laughing time with your girl, sometimes like it can get to you. If you're a particularly masculine, goal-orientated guy, it can really get to you because you'll be just seeing it logically and thinking like, when I was by myself, I was making more progress. Like, don't get me wrong, a woman's inspiration is priceless, it's amazing. But it's definitely hard for a woman to help you make more progress to your goals if that is like your priority in life. If you are like a really masculine-minded man, your priority in life is often just your goals. And you might be similar to me, where you're actually willing to sacrifice, to give up, and to break up a relationship if it means more progress to your goals. I've done that multiple times. And I'm not saying that as a flex, I'm even saying that as like a heartbreaking reality of just being like a, not cold-hearted guy, but you know, just a fucking driven man who's got like, this is gonna sound cringe as fuck, but like champion mentality. Like, some guys have it, some guys won't understand this at all, but if you're watching this, you probably understand what I'm talking about. You'd give up like almost anything for your goals. Your whole life relates to your goals. I'm sure younger me is watching this and he just doesn't really understand this. He'll be thinking like, no, what? Like, I'd love to just have my girl living with me and to spending time with her every day. But the more you get onto this development and like this path of masculinity and discipline, the more that you realize making progress to your goals is the most satisfying thing in life. I have yet to find something else. I genuinely do believe I've experienced like true love, a real loving connection with women. I've experienced like deep friendships and family experiences, and still to this day, nothing like scratches the itch as much as like being goal orientated and making good progress out of hard work, perseverance. And this is even with a little bit of my Buddhist kind of mindset of, you know, understanding that desire can be problematic and that we don't want to be materialistic and everything. What I'm saying is, like, the big picture takeaway is, more often than not, I don't think that living with your girlfriend or your wife actually helps men. And in fact, I don't even think it even helps women. I just think it's the status quo because of things like people are just poor. People can't afford 2 houses or 2 apartments. If they could, just imagine that, if you could afford 2 houses next to each other, and then you got to, you know, have your wife in the next one and you in one by yourself. It'd seem absurd, but let's just imagine it was exactly the same price or even cheaper than living together. Suddenly you might start seeing the benefits because you'd be like, oh, well, we'd spend time with each other when we want to spend time with each other. But our default state would be having our own place, which would be quite nice to set a pretty nice like boundary of like alone time. Because then that would give you the power to only spend time with each other when you have decided to do so. I think cohabitating, which is living with your woman, is potentially like one of the biggest mistakes of a common relationship. I read a book, a biography of Alexander the Great. So he was one of like the greatest conquerors of humanity. Dude was like 19, 20 years old, taking over countries. Like, imagine that. You're 19 years old and your voice still creaks. Sorry, bro. Sorry, you just caught a stray there. But you get my point, right? And it tells the story of his dad, and that his dad goes over to his wife's house. When it said that, just that simple phrase of Alexander the Great's father is going to go see his wife, and he goes to her house. Something clicked in me. I kind of relaxed and I was like, it just makes sense. The strong, powerful men of history did not live in the same home as their wives. It makes sense that men are supposed to live with other men. It makes sense that the time we spend with our women should actually be limited. Like, it doesn't make sense for your girl to be your best friend. It's just what's kind of normal and comfortable. Most people these days, that you get into a relationship, and I'm guilty of this, you get into a relationship and that's the person you spend the most time with. And that makes sense. Like, oh, my wife's my best friend. But what if that's not the right way? Like, let me just challenge you and try not to be like, resistance toward this, thinking, oh, this guy doesn't know anything, but just hear me out and you use your own assessments. What if just because that's normal doesn't mean it's the best for you, your happiness, for her happiness, and the overall strength of your relationship? Is your relationship going to improve by quantity of hours together or by quality of hours? Because would you say that most people, like, the average couple that get together, they get married, like our parents' generation, would you say that their relationship really improved once they lived together? If anything, for basically every single fucking couple you can possibly think of, their relationship sharply declined once they started living together, because that's when, like, there's so many little icks and pet peeves that you have with one another, and no one wants to admit this, but this is the truth. A lot of the times when you're next to your partner, if you live with them, you actually didn't want to be next to them. It's just that they live here as well. But imagine if the only times you actually were next to your partner was when you both decided, oh, hey, you're free at 7 p.m, let's watch a movie, let's do this. Then it's like, bro, both of you are getting ready. You're showering before she comes over. She's gotten ready. She's dressed up all pretty. And it's you guys, like, planning to see each other because you wanted to see each other today at 7 p.m. compared to at like 1:27 p.m. when you want to focus on work. She's like in the room as well, but kind of slightly distracting you. When your relationship feels super happy, you could be doing work and your girl next to you will never feel like a distraction or feel awesome. But there are inevitably going to be times in life where you're not feeling super happy or productive or driven. You're not feeling very pleasantly minded. And that's when you can accidentally lash out at your girl who's next to you, and the same vice versa. That's when you can take each other for granted because you're just always there. That's when you'll often put in less effort because you're always there. And so a lot of like the sexual romance you guys have is not been prepared for in the way it would if you guys were going to meet up on a date. Let's say there's a new girl you're about to meet. Before you go meet her, think about the level of effort you put in. You fully shower, you do the hair, the beard, you put on the nice clothes and the cologne and stuff. She does the same thing. She literally, when she's going on a date with you, she shaves her pussy beforehand. Just think about that level of effort, right? And then talk about it a few years into a relationship where it's like, oh no, but that's my husband. I don't have to like shave my legs or anything before I see him because I see him 24/7. Now, everyone online will disagree with me and say, no, that's better. That's like the real and everything. But am I just crazy for thinking that like the time we spend with our partners should be very limited, but also very effortful and purposeful and intentional? Am I crazy for not wanting the same kind of relationship as everyone else? Because I'll tell you from my perspective, I've got to go downstairs, my session starts now. I've never had a relationship benefit from spending more time with each other. I've never had a relationship that's improved once we lived with each other. You'd think that it would, because that's what everyone does and that's what's normal. You get into a relationship, eventually you move in with each other and like, you're so much closer with each other. But every single time I've done that, the relationships went downhill. And you could ask why. And it's just because suddenly this person who it was special to see and effortful to see is just always there. And maybe like other guys can do this well, but I'm a bit of like an autist who like really is obsessive and maybe like ADHD or something, and I really fucking obsess over the thing that's in front of me. So sometimes then I can be quite distant. If I'm focused on this problem in business and my girl's asking me a question, it's like I can't react in the way that she needs me to. But I can also be the sweetest guy ever. Like, you might be surprised. You've seen me like, talk to a few girls here and there. So you would be so surprised of how like present and loving I could be to a woman. If you ever saw me in like a relationship and you saw like real clips of me, when I didn't know you were like watching in the video, you'd be thinking like, holy fuck, Hamza is like a spiritual lover. He's so present. Like he said he used to meditate for an hour a day. I guess it was true. You would be impressed. Like a text message I got from my ex was, when you wanted to, you were the most present. When you wanted to be, you were the most present man alive. I have that power, that gift, that skill, but it's only when I want to. And if I, like, did you see the point? Sometimes if you live with a girl and you spend so much time with them, sometimes you don't want to because you want to focus on something else. Is it natural? Like, think this to yourself. Is it the natural thing to live with each other and to spend that much time together? Or is that just out of convenience of the modern day because people can't afford like 2 homes and everything? But if you're watching this, you're probably like quite a disciplined young man. You're expecting to be like pretty fucking rich. You actually could. Just take a second, like whilst I'm going to kickboxing now, and ask yourself, okay, forget what's normal. If you're gonna be rich and successful, and it's kind of reasonable to then maybe have 2 places, even next to each other, would that actually potentially make your relationship better? Because I think a lot of guys won't understand what I'm saying, but I think you might, and you'll be thinking like, wait, if I actually could afford it, like let's just say it was free, it probably would. Because she'd have her own space, I'd have mine, she'd come over, like let's just say it's next door, when we actually wanted to see each other, when we put in effort to see each other. And then the final question, just as I go downstairs now, is what do you think your ideal living situation would be? As a masculine young man, think about your goals and your desires, your dreams, the things you want to accomplish. What would your living situation be? Living with mommy and daddy? Probably not. Living with a girl? Honestly, probably not. Now here's the interesting thing. Living by yourself? Probably better than those other 2 options, fine. But the final one, most likely, which I am pretty sure might be the best thing for guys like us, is actually living with other guys. Because living by yourself, I actually think it's way better than living with your parents or with a girl. It's like a pretty good level. But imagine if you lived with other guys who were on the same wavelength as you. You might have already been helped by, content that I've made like this. Just imagine for a second, if me and you lived in the same apartment or in the same villa. Just imagine that, if I lived with you, imagine hearing me get up at 5 a.m. and like, you didn't sleep so well because you scrolled a little bit last night. It doesn't fucking matter, you're getting woken up, right? You're getting woken up because we said we'd come work out in the morning, or we said we'd record videos or something. Imagine like you wake up a little bit late one day. I've already made like $10,000 before you woke up some days when I make like, big product, or, I add something to my paid product, which is like linked in the description and stuff. You'd be thinking like, oh fuck, I'm not gonna sleep in again. How the fuck did this guy just do that much? You'd be asking me so many questions. You'd randomly, like when we're making breakfast, you'd be saying like, oh yeah, I might make this YouTube video. And I'll tell you, oh yeah, title it like this though. Oh yeah, have this as the thumbnail. Suddenly, this YouTube video that you're gonna make went from getting 100 views to 5,000 just because I gave you a quick tip on how to word the title. Do you get what I mean, right? So living with guys might be the single best way. Now, I could be totally wrong about this. I could come back in like a week or 2 and tell you, oh yeah, I'm gonna live with my girlfriend or whatever. But I have lived with a couple of girls. It's never helped the relationship. I've never really lived with like masculine, goal-orientated guys. That might be something that I try soon. So if you want to live with me, message me, please. If you want to share rent, bro.
Nah, I'm quite interested, bro, because I'm really enjoying weights at the moment. I'm quite interested to like tap into like the fighter / like lifting weight sort of hybrid sort of thing.
Yeah. Is it lifting weights like for bodybuilding or for strength?
It's more bodybuilding.
Yeah, it's the physique in it, bro. Just saw the way you like flex your arm like this. I was like, yeah, bro wants to be a bodybuilder.
It's sick, bro. It's fucking like when you like catch yourself with a pump, you're just like, fuck on the man.
Oh, my foot is proper hurting,
Yeah?
Yeah, I think I got a couple of kicks on like elbows or something. Like,
oh,
it's not the bottom side, no. Yeah, it's like the top side.
That would have been from just like
spamming. Yeah.
But you did well yesterday, bro. I was super happy.
Yeah, best session so far. I'd say.
Yeah, you did very well.
Definitely,
like, a lot of improvement, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, last night was sick as well, man. I got like another 3 messages from like people who like watch the vlogs and shit, bro.
Oh yeah, similar.
Yeah, just like, hey, bro, massive fan, loving the content. Crazy how good Hamza's getting.
Yeah,
fucking sick, bro.
Yeah, this is a sick testimonial, bro. You're the best coach I've had. Like
it is
by
sick,
like
bro.
Multiples, not even close. The fact that like you listen as well. So when I come in, I'm like, oh, this is the thing that's in my mind right now. Can we focus on that? We always do it. Whereas I've had coaches where I'd say that, they're like, no, we follow like this weird shit. So we've got an hour together. I turn up sweaty because I cycled to the gym. I tell you this all the time. And like, oh no, you've got to warm up. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm literally sweating. And like, oh, you've got to do a warm up. I'm like, okay, if you tell me to do dynamic stretching or shadow boxing to get into the flow, fine. You made me get on the fucking cycling machine. I was like, are you taking the piss, bro?
That's a bit weird. Yeah. we'll finish, because tomorrow, rest day.
We could probably do one, you know.
You want to do tomorrow?
Probably could do, yeah. But it
Alright.
might just be in an hour or so.
Alright, yeah.
So, yeah, I'll let you know in the morning, yeah?
Yep, okay. Alright, maybe we won't get on the, I was going to say, because we'll finish off today, so I'll put you on the assault bike to finish, but maybe not then. Maybe not.
Yeah, it's proper painful that today.
Yeah, alright, maybe, what foot?
The right one. Yeah, just on, like, step it right.
Is it where?
Right there.
See how a kick goes, but maybe, because the problem I'm thinking is like, you'll go to kick, but you'll kick with your shin, but the vibration like runs down into your foot, bro. We'll try it, but if not, it'll probably be good, bro. It'll be more of like a hands.
Yeah, just a bit more
working
boxing.
what we didn't do yesterday, but we've been working earlier in the week.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
bam, bam, bam.
boom.
100%, yeah.
But yeah, bro. Nah, be good, man. Hey, do you know if we started the hour and a half? Did we start on Tuesday or Wednesday?
I'll check my calendar. I update yesterday on there, yeah.
Because I remember Monday we did 2, and then
It was a day where it was supposed to be 2, and then we changed it to, I think it was maybe Tuesday, but I changed it on the day of my Google Calendar, so I'll have a look, yeah.
Yeah, bro. Cool. And one problem we had when sparring, bro, is this chin would just pop up, you know what I mean? Right. Especially when it like...
Yeah, keep it down still, yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I learned a good cue actually, which is I look through the eyebrows.
Yeah, bro, just...
Yeah. That's what I used to do, you know, when kids would pick on me in primary school. I'd look at them like this, like I never realised I was supposed to be a fighter all this time. I was just a pussy, like little brown kid just staring at you like this.
Everyone would have been like, what the fuck's wrong with this guy? What a freak. Yeah, good man. Yeah, better. Let's go. Moving around, yeah? 1. Yeah, great jab. 1. 1, 2. 1. Good. Chop. Alright?
Yes, okay.
Chop. Chop. All good?
Yes, alright.
Yeah, sweet. 1. 1, 2. Move. Good. 1. Up. Good. 1, 2. Good. 1, 2. 1. Double. Good. Try not to flare out the elbows, yeah? 1. Yeah, better. 1, 2. Good. And again, 1, 2. Good. Tight. 1, 2. Yeah, good. Again. Good. 1 more. Good. Fire back with a 2 after that. So wait for the catch, wait for the reply. Fire back with a 2 straight, yeah? Nice and slow. Good. So catch and boom. Just try not to load it. Right, shoot it straight away, yeah? Good. 1. Oh, good. Because you're trying to like, he's gone here, you're trying to just like pop quick, you know what I mean? Doesn't need to be hard. Doesn't need to be a big load up. Just even that boom will be enough to go boom. 1. Double. But. Good, beautiful. 1, 2, 3, chop. Good. Nice. Good. 1, 3. Angle on it. Yes. 1. Good. Work a little bit more going this way, yeah? A few times we could have gone that way yesterday, especially when the bro was checking, you know, because he started to check a lot, but we kept going that way, which the check just like was working, you know, but if we went that way, then obviously, you know what I mean? 1. Good. Angle on the jab. Boom. Good. Angle on the 3. Boom. Boom. Good. Hit the jab. Angle on the 3. Stop. Stop. Boom. Good. After that angle on the 3, come back with the 2. So dart back in. Boom. Boom. No. Without the kick now. Yeah, because you've done this a few times now. So you're thinking, oh, he thinks I'm gonna go for that low kick again. Boom, boom, step in on a 2, yeah? Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, better, but nice and relaxed. Don't give me any signs, yeah? So like, sort of bounce back in on that. So boom, boom. I chop, boom. Maybe I do it again. He's like, all right, he's doing, that's his pattern, yeah? Boom, boom, boom. And just springing, boom. Good. 1, 3. Spring in. Boom. Good. Try not to load. Boom. Up, up, up. Balance, so balance, balance. Up, up. Head up. Boom, boom.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Boom. Alright, hit the jabs. Go on to 3. Good. You know, it'll work, but it's not quite the boom, boom movement, yeah? You're kind of going like, and then we're kind of like boom, boom. Bang, bang. 1, 3.
That's it.
Hit the jab normal. Bang, bang, quick. Better, better. Stay tight. Stay tight. Good, good man. 1. Good, double jab. Good, 1, 3, go that way, hit the low. Good, 1. Move. Double jab. Moving. Good, 1. Good, 1, 2. 1. Move. Hit the 2, don't load it. Oh, yes, good man. Nice. Good, and again. Good, jab. Double. Good, 1, 2, 3, chop. Good, 3, chop. Up. Reload. Good, move. Good, double. Start. 1, 2. 1. Good, 1, 2, 3, chop low. Good, 3, chop. Up. Reload. 1, 2. 1. Yeah, good. First jab, second jab, angle. Good. Again. Good. 1, 2, 3, chop. Good. 1, 2. 1. Double. Good. 1, 2, 3, chop low. Tight. Yeah, good. 1. 3 low. Good. 1, 1 catch, 2, 3 low. Up. Boom. Jab low. Move. Low. Good. Slap it. Fast. Boom. Fast. Boom. Fast. Double it up. Boom. Nah. Find that movement. Find that movement. I know you're tired. Double it up. 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 Good. 1. 1, 2. 1. Move. 1, 2, 3. Chop the low. Good. 3. Chop the low. Upcut. Reload. Tight. Tight left hand. Tight left hand. Tight left hand. 1, 2, 3. Chop. Upcut. Reload. Good. Stay there. Mentally tough right now, yeah? Mentally tough. We're almost there. Good. Yep. Move. Good. Good kicks, bro. No shit ones, yeah? 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. Tight. 8. 9. Tight. 10. Nah. Come on, bro. Come on, come on. You're not tired. 11. 12. Don't be a pussy. 13. 14. 15. 16. 17. 18. 19. 20. 21. 22. Move around. 23, 24, 25, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, follow, hands up, follow properly, hands up. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3. Come on, last few. 4, 5, 6, switch. 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Good. One hard one. One more. One more. 1, 2. So, good work, bro. Good man. Beautiful.
Your guy dropped out of your fight then?
Well, he never really said yes.
Yeah.
This is like, bro, like when I woke up to that text that, you know, yo, what's your fight? And then they sent me the name, I was just like, bro. Like, I looked at it, bro, I put my phone down, I was like, bro, he's not gonna fight.
He's not like a respected fighter or something.
He's okay, bro. He's just had me as an opponent before and he's pulled out, you know. Like, I think a couple of times now, if I'm not mistaken.
Is that a smart thing to do, or
What?
like if he feels like he's gonna lose, you should just pull out the fight, or like should you go into a fight which you're not expecting to win?
Like, if you get the fight offered, you know, it's like, I mean, there's no reason that, like, you know, he couldn't win, you know, it's just like, yeah.
What was it that he's lighter than you and he wants to fight way lighter? Or
No, nothing like that, just said no, bro, you know, just said no. Nothing crazy, just said no.
Yeah.
I've never done it before though, so I honestly woke up and like I said, bro, as soon as I saw the name, I just like,
Yeah. Oh, fair enough. Like when you told me who it was as well, I told you, it was like, he's a weird guy. Basically, James was supposed to have a fight with this other guy from like this other gym, and he's pulled out before from the fight, and he did again this time. But when James told me who it was, that guy had trained me once, like on one random session I went to. And he had like, I'm just gonna say it, bro, he had like such dick energy, bro. Like, you know, I'm a beginner, right? That was even before me and you started, so I was a brand beginner. And when he would tell me to do something, like he was on the pads, and you know, he's like, oh, 1, 2, 3, whatever, and I throw the wrong hit, or I kind of stop a little bit. He'd look at me like that. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, it's actually crazy. Like, I don't mean to shit on other gyms that are, you know, trying to grow their business, but I've never really been to a good martial arts gym before this place. Like, they're all the ones that are hyped up, like Tiger Muay Thai, are just fucking overrun like crazy.
Yeah.
I went to Tiger Muay Thai, like I got the camping, you know, you live on site.
Yeah.
And I hyped it up to my boys, I'm gonna live on site, I'm gonna train and stuff. Bro, there's like fucking 100 people in a class with one teacher.
Yeah.
You're learning more from some retard next to you who doesn't know what to do either, but you know, you're just guessing together.
Yeah.
And I think like, maybe I was still a pussy back then or whatever, but I think if I had you as a coach back then, with especially like the relationship we have, which made it fun, I would have liked to believe that I would have taken it seriously. Like, definitely there's some of my own discipline there, but I will say, like, a lot of this journey depends on the coach and the mentors and the gym you're in. And I've been to like plenty of gyms around the world, you know, like I've never trained seriously, but I've done like 1 or 2 or 3 sessions a week at some places randomly. Like, I've been to like the UFC gym in Dubai, the ones back home and everything. they're all bad, bro. Now that I've experienced this, I would say that this is a great gym and you are a great teacher. And every other experience I've had has been below, like I would quote as bad. Like every gym in Bali that I've been to, I would actually say they are bad teachers. Like not even just like, they're okay. They're actually genuinely bad teachers. Now that I've experienced you, and it's like there's such a wide grasp, I assume that there's like coaches who, you know, like they're still pretty good, but they're not on the level, the relationship, the compatibility, whatever.
I think it's like one of the things as well, you know, it's like, I don't know if like saying they're bad, you know, but it's just like, they don't care. You know what I mean? Where it's like, as soon as, bro, literally from like our first interaction, I was like fucking sick. I was like, bro, this guy's fucking class, you know? Like, I want him to do well, you know? I take pride in like, you know, I take pride in it as well, bro. So it's like, oh, you can, it's fine.
Yeah.
Oh, what's that one, bro?
Thank you, bro.
Boss, can I get one of those? Yes, please.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's just like, oh, sorry, what were you saying? Sidetrack.
Yeah, like they have to care, which most gyms
bro,
don't.
If they don't care, bro, you know,
Yeah.
which is like sad, you know, sad reality of it. But
Yeah, you need like it's not even about the gym so much, it's just which coach you're training with.
Yeah.
Because if you're passed around coaches, like, you know, like you go to some class and you keep getting a different coach every day, you're not building a good relationship with them.
Exactly.
A lot of like the training is like going with the same guy. Imagine like back in the old days, you go and learn blacksmithing from the master blacksmith. But imagine if it was a different guy every time.
Yeah.
And he's got a different way of teaching you. You know, like the first guy's your father and he tells you like, oh, strike it at a 5 degree angle. The second blacksmith is like your fucking uncle or some shit. And he's like, no, this way instead. Like, yeah, my point is like you're just resetting and you're not excelling in at least one of the paths. Which most classes are like this. Like, I actually, now that I've experienced enough, I'd probably recommend guys to do one personal training session a week instead of like 3 or 4 classes. Because if you have a good if you have like a good coach for the one session like we do, we don't fuck around, we don't waste time or anything. We don't do like fucking like push-ups and squats and stuff like I've been made to do before.
I think because obviously it's like, it just depends on the person, it depends on like their situation. But I think if you can like if you can like work hard, you know, put a bit of coin aside every week, you know, find yourself a good coach, train with him once a week, you know, and then he's gonna like obviously start to build a connection, you know, and you do that as well as the training, you know, training in the gym, training all the classes, going all the not just the general like pad work, or just go to like, you know, the drilling classes, the technique classes. No, not even that, bro. Like do strength and conditioning as well, but go to all your fundamental classes, go to all your technique classes, go to your drilling, go to your pads. You know, you should still be training every day. You know, that's how you're gonna get good. You know?
Right, yeah. Maybe meta for guys who don't have so much money to do this every day is like 1 or 2 with a one-to-one coach, and then go in open gym every day and like practice whatever the coach told you.
You know?
Like that's what I was doing on those first days with you. You would tell me like 1 or 2 tips, and then I'd text you the next day like, oh, I'm on the bags, I'm doing that right now. And like I would record a video and send it to him as well. So he'd be like, oh yeah, see, like that was better, like your footwork, or, you know, like stepping in with a punch or whatever. Maybe that's better, bro. I just feel like I've been fairly disappointed by most of the sessions that I've done in my previous gyms and everything. You know, especially when you're not consistently going for a long time.
Yeah.
Because that's when you start to like, you know, you get recognized by the coach and he likes you and he starts thinking like, oh, this could be my next fighter or something.
Yeah.
But especially when you're traveling and you're in places a bit short term, expect to like get treated like shit a little bit by a lot of gyms unless they've got like a good heart and you end up building a relationship with like one of the coaches rather than just being like a customer who comes into the gym. You're actually like friends with the coach, like you've connected with each other on Instagram first. Maybe it's like you find the gym nearby you, check who their fighters and coaches are, like, you know, you'll see them like tagged there holding pads for someone, find them on Instagram, message them and say like, oh bro, like, yeah, that's amazing, saw you fight, so cool, I really want to learn, can we do sessions together? Because then you are with that coach who's looking after you rather than just being like one of the 20 people who show up to a class.
And you doing that as well, you instantly build like a bit of a connection, you know, that guy will instantly like, you know, he'll respect you a bit, he'll want you to do like better than just the average the average bloke that walks in the door.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I get messages quite often now from people who watch these vlogs, or from like your fans or your audience, you know, and it's like super cool, you know, and they say they're gonna come to Bali, they say they want to train. It's like you know, that's awesome, but it makes me super happy as well.
Yeah.
And then so they'll come in and then they'll say, yeah bro, like I message you, like, you know, like introduce ourselves, and then it's like I instantly care
more than like someone who's just showing up for a class.
Exactly, bro.
Yeah, so true. But a part of this is social skills as well.
Yeah.
Because it reminds me a lot about getting a haircut. Like, I don't know about you, but back in when I was like a teenager, if I got like a bad haircut, or, you know, like there was a bit I wanted them to fix, I wouldn't say it. I would just kind of like, oh yeah, it's good, bro. Like, go home and like try and fix it myself or something. And it's like, you can actually say that to your coach. Obviously, don't come across as a dickhead pretending you know what's best. But you can come up and say like, oh, I think I'd really prefer this kind of session. And if your coach, you know, gives you a really good idea of like, oh no, it should be more like this, and he's got more experience, it makes sense.
Yeah.
But to me, it's like I made it quite clear from the start. I was like, I didn't want to do like a fitness session, which I've been made to do before. Like, I've had tons of sessions where we spend half of it doing push-ups and squats and medicine bowl things. And those things can be helpful, but it's not what I'm going to this class or this one-to-one session for. I don't need like a fucking person to look at me do push-ups. Just tell me to do that in my own private time. Like, if you told me, oh yeah, do 200 push-ups a day, I'd do it. But it's like, right now it's just about learning the technique, so the entire hour should be just technique building to me. Like, it doesn't make sense for us to like, you know, you to watch me just fucking like,
I don't need to watch you do.
Yeah, body weight, like, because you know that I've got it and you listened about that as well. Now, if I was like weak as fuck, right, and I could barely hold my hands up, then you might start doing that because the ROI is there. But it's like sometimes they just follow like a retarded script of like, oh no, just make everyone do push-ups. It's like, but I can do more than 50 in a set. Like, I'm just gonna get diminishing returns now. And now now my technique's gonna be worse. Like, I'm just drilling poor technique now. It's just silly, right? So you've got to speak to your coach similar to how you'd speak to your barber. Just be out loud, be talking to them and say like, oh, I don't really like that. Can we change this? It's like, it's actually totally fine and respectful to say that to your barber and be like, you know, can we just do this bit? Like, if the fading is a little bit worse on this one or whatever. You can say that to your barber. He's not going to take offense. In fact, he'll actually respect you because you know what you want. But when I was young, I would just kind of, I don't know what it is, I'd just kind of freeze and not tell them. You know, I'd be just scared to say like, oh, can you fix this bit? Or this looks a bit uneven or whatever. Because sometimes they don't notice it. And it's the same what I've said to you, is like, I'll come in and be like, oh, can we drill this thing? Or, oh, I think that feels really awkward for me, and I'm not sure if it's something we should drill or if it's something that like I prefer the other side or whatever. Or, you know, we make fun of like the sessions I don't like, where it's like the push-ups or the ladder, you know, like just making me do box jumps or some shit. Like, yeah, it can be valuable, brother. It's not why I'm here, man. Like, so you gotta have the confidence to say that to someone, but you can't really do this in a class, right? If they've set up the class, you can't go up to them and be, oh, actually, I don't want to do this one exercise. Like, unless you've got an injury, like,
if you go to a class,
you've got to do it.
If you go for a one-on-one, you still do what you tell them. But if you're going with a coach that's spending half the time making you do fucking push-ups and shit, bro, when you come to learn technique, bro, then you just tell them to get fucked.
Yeah. One of the things I'd suggest is finding a fight gym and not a fitness martial arts gym, because they're two different things. Like, everyone in that I've been to in the UK, they're made for like middle-aged guys. They're made for like, you know, like people who will go twice a week and they're going to get fit. Like, they're going because they're fat and unhealthy and they're trying to get healthy. They're not going to fight and get into the ring, and so technique is a lot less important, and that's why they do more of these exercises. Am I right in thinking that? So if you actually want to like do this because you're a young man and you know, you're just thinking like, fuck it, I'll do one fight before I get too old, you've got to make sure you find like an actual fight gym, like, and you know, it's just because you'll see all the fighters will just be hanging around there all day, every day. They'll be doing like 3-4 sessions. If you go to a gym where like there's no group of fighters like literally stood around waiting around even before the session and after the session, and they train like 3 or 4 hours a day, then it's more of like a health club of like, oh yeah, people are just coming to do some like fucking zone 2 cardio or something.
Yep. But I think every gym, like almost gyms, cater for both, you know what I mean? And a lot of the times you have to go through the phase of the fundamentals and the basic pads before you can get led into like a fight class, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
sorry, man.
No, it's all good, bro.
Boss, can I get garlic, man? Garlic mayo. Thank you, bro.
If you were driving home and there was an animal like a stray dog or a cat that was like proper cuddling up with you. Would you, like, you know, it was like cuddling up to you. It was like following you and making you feel good. It's like rubbing itself against your leg or something, like purring. Would you take it home? Yeah, would you take it home?
You know, it's gonna make me seem like a fucking asshole. But no, probably not.
Yeah, why?
Because I'm just not in a position to be able to do that. I'm too busy. I'm not really home much. When I am home, I don't really want to be fucking looking after dogs.
Yeah. No, it's a lot of responsibility.
Yeah,
I've never had one before, so I didn't realise.
And if I had like a dog or an animal here, bro, then it's like, I feel like I'm kind of trapped here for like, as long as that fucking dog's alive, you know what I mean?
You know, you can't leave now. Well, you can, but you have to like, you have to always think about it now. And if you want to move somewhere else, you've got to give it to someone, or just sleeping as well. Like I've got like a studio apartment, so I brought a cat home with me the other day, and it was just like, I didn't mind it too much. Like I wasn't in like a bad mood or anything. It was quite sweet, but I kept on waking up because it was like moving around on my bed. It's not ideal, man. And when I woke up, you know, waking up, it's like at like work time for me. It's go. And I had to like think about the cat. I was like, oh, should I take it out or something like that? Like,
Is it still there?
no, I took it out that same day.
Oh yeah, but it just like,
Oh yeah, still like I see it almost every day, but it's like it doesn't really recognize me too much. It just kind of sits there, just licks its balls. And then the other day when I said its name, the name that I gave it, Jeffrey, and it didn't really look at me, but it just bolted towards the elevator, like it wanted to come in again. But I was looking at it, I was like, you know what? You're for the streets, honestly. Like, you're a hoe. You don't even like me, you just want my resources. You're a fucking hoe.
nice room, bro. Nice room in Salmon, bro.
It is a stray cat. One day it comes into my home, gave it smoked salmon, gave it milk, got it a little tray, got it a toy and everything. It got to sleep in the bed with me. That's like taking out like a hoe to like a 5-star dinner, and she's like, now she doesn't like you, she just wants the Instagram pictures.
Referring a cat to a woman, bro.
I was gonna take a picture of the cat and post it on YouTube and say like title it like for the streets. I was gonna like tell a story about it, and at the end, so like, and by the way, I'm not talking about a cat.
Oh no, yeah. Today's trends, bro. They're quite funny though.
What?
I've seen some good ones.
Yeah. There's loads about Minecraft. Have you seen those? It's like a diamond can turn into a hoe with a couple of sticks.
Oh yeah. That's just your Minecraft algorithm, bro.
There's another one as well. It was like, don't look for diamonds in a cave where torches have already been planted.
I feel like the one I see all the time is if your dog starts barking at you, someone else is feeding it. I'm not talking about dogs.
Yeah, right.
That's the one I always see.
Yeah. Is that what happens in Minecraft? Someone tries to feed your dog?
No, not even the Minecraft ones. I don't know. Nah, fucking dogs in Minecraft are all fuck, bro.
That Hunger Games server I used to play on, used to get like the dogs, like the wolves.
Yeah.
And if you got like a stack of skeleton bones, I'd have like 7 dogs on me. So one hits me once and then it's got 7 fucking dogs. Like 2 die, but they kill him like without me even touching it.
What are your plans for the rest of the weekend?
What?
What are your plans for the rest of the night? Rest of the weekend?
I think just go home
Yeah.
and I'll have a bit more of a relaxing day today. I'm just gonna read. I wanted to play Minecraft yesterday actually.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna lie, I downloaded it. It would be the first time I played video games in fucking ages, and I felt like you're like messaging someone to hop, like you like message and like, oh, let's hop on a server or some shit. You don't fuck around for like an hour on like on a call as well, which I don't think is like a bad thing. I've always shit on video games, but I shit on like, do you know when you're playing every day and you're like addicted to them compared to if it's like a fun social thing.
Yeah.
But I don't know what the fuck it is, bro. I downloaded it and it's like, it's so complicated to play a game now. Do you know back in our day it was like you pay for Minecraft, you download it, you double click on the thing and it says what's your username and password and then you're in the game.
Yeah.
Now it's like you've got like 4 different accounts. You've got like a fucking Mojang account, fucking Microsoft. You go onto it, you download like a Mojang launcher or some shit. Then you've got to log into that, and it was like asking for my Apple key pass. I was like, so I put in the laptop password, it wasn't working. Put it in like forgot password. It's like it's not an easy thing to set up. It's so weird. And it was like that's to like open up Minecraft without needing to put your password on it. But I was like, like back in my day, you literally just like double click on a fucking icon on your computer and it just works. You download one thing.
Yeah.
Now it's like you have a launcher for like every game. It launches the game and then you've got to like sign in or something. You know, you've got like 2 different accounts. Like I can't remember this shit, bro. I was tempted to just buy another account. I was like, no, fuck that. That's how they win, bro.
Yeah, complicated, bro. I can't remember the last time I played a game, bro. But I feel like that's mainly because like living in Bali, bro, you know.
You don't need to, bro. This place is so
You
stimulating.
don't need to, bro. Like, yeah, exactly, bro. This place is like, there's something different going on every day, every night. There's new people here all the time. You make new friends every day.
I deleted Instagram and YouTube off my phone maybe like a week ago because I just kept on scrolling. It was pissing me off.
You deleted it.
Yeah, just like off my phone for a bit. Like I do that every now and then when like I find it a little bit harder to not randomly click on it. You know when I'm having like a shit or something, and then like 5 minutes shit turns to like fucking half an hour or something crazy.
Yep, every day.
So I just don't keep it on my phone anymore now. I don't know, man. I can't like. I'm not strong enough to resist it, bro. If it's on my phone, I'll click it for a minute. You know, especially because I'm like coping. I'm like, I've got to message someone. It's been like half an hour or something.
Bro, I think if anybody starts scrolling, bro, nobody stops, you know.
Back in the day, I could, but I used to meditate for an hour a day. So when you do that, it's like you've got so much extra control over your actions. But I mean, an hour is fucking crazy, bro. But I did that for about a year straight, every single day without missing it.
Yeah, that's fucking heavy, bro.